Hi, Bill Jones from Turntastic Wood Designs. I made this big party serving tray out of pine, all dimensional lumber that I got at the local big box store. It's about 2 feet across. It's got nice handles built right in, 3 inches high, 2 3/4 on the inside. It's just right for a big dish of chips and salsa and other dips to have a great party. And if you'd like to see how I made it, stick around and I'll show you next. I started with some regular old 2x4s and I cut the rounded edges off one side. Then I set my fence to 3 inches and cut the boards 3 inches wide. I set my miter saw to 22.5 degrees. Then I set up a stop block such that the long side of each piece would be 10.25 inches long, and I cut 16 pieces. 8 pieces cut at 22.5 degrees on each side form an octagon. So I glued up 2 octagon rings and clamped them up with strap clamps. When the 2 rings had dried, I stacked them and glued them together, staggering the joints for extra strength. I put them in the clamps and waited for the glue to dry. I determined my center point and drew a circle for the outside of the ring, then came in 1 inch and drew a circle for the inside of the ring. I cut the inside circle with a jigsaw and I cut the outside circle using the bandsaw. I cut the handles in using a 1-inch Forstner bit and the jigsaw. I used the router table to put a round over on the inside and the outside of the top of the ring, and then to cut a rabbet in the bottom of the ring. I cut the bottom out of a piece of 1/4 inch plywood. I glued and brad nailed the bottom into the rabbet I had cut on the router table earlier. After sanding the piece, I stained it with a honey maple stain. It brings out the grain in this piece and gives it just a little bit of color, which I really like. I smear the stain on pretty thick, let it set for a moment, and then wipe the excess off with a paper towel. After the stain had dried overnight, I applied 5 coats of polyacrylic. It's a water-based product, and that came out really good. Then I let that dry overnight and applied a coat of paste wax, which really helps make it feel just right. So I loaded it all up with chips and salsa and queso dip and whatever else you need. So it turned out really nice. If you have any questions about this or how I made this or anything else you've seen on any video I have or anything you've seen in my shop, please feel free to leave a comment in the area below. I'd love to hear from you. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It really helps me out. Be sure to like this video and share it with your friends. And as always, thanks for watching.